Oh, that's kind of loud in my ear. Gotta turn it down. Ooh. I like this song. It reminds me of the early 70s. Maxine Nightingale started where we started from, right back from where we started from. I'll bring this speaker out later and we'll turn on the light and listen to it. I don't think I can dance today. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marjama. Hey, empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and being empath, you're feeling all kinds of things all the time. I took yesterday off. I took a little hiatus. I went on a little spiritual walkabout. It's pretty cool. I finally found that fun guy I've been looking for 4 years. Yep.
4 years?
4 years I was looking for that fun guy all over Oregon. I couldn't find that fun guy nowhere in Oregon. I get here and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was a nice little. It was a pretty short trip. Pretty much, I went to bed by like 10, but I started early. He came over about 5. Anyway, you're okay. Oh, he gotta lick the bowl because he's a baby and he's putting on a show. So the sky was gorgeous yesterday, and I posted some pictures on my Instagram page. Snapnax, check them out. Check them out. Yeah. So I had a pretty interesting day. Oh, I also, before I even hung out earlier in the day, when I was 15, I fell 25 feet out of a tree, and I landed with my ankle at a 45-degree angle. Right. So it's like, I landed like that with my ankle, it collapsed, but I didn't break any bones. It just tore all the tendons. And so those tendons were never repaired, and then year after year after year, that's why I'd roll my ankle all the time. Year after, I'd step, if like the ground was offset at all, it would pop out, and I would like fall on the ground, and it hurt so bad. So now, and then when I was in the Air Force, they fixed it right before I got out. Yeah, well, I had one of the same. It was kind of very synchronistic because Mom was born with club feet, and she had all kinds of tendon surgeries and stuff like that. Maybe 5, 6. Like her summers were in casts and stuff. And then her dad would he would wrench on him and exercise him and stretch him and pull him. Well, it was very, very painful. So at a very young age, I think Mom learned how to disassociate because the pain is just too much for anyone to bear, right, Ma?
Yeah.
It's pretty painful? Yeah. So, I actually got to go through a little bit of what she did when I had mine. So, they tightened it up real good, but it still pops out. And sometimes it takes so to like pop, and so the bones rub, and then it freaking hurts. Well, it happened yesterday. I was going towards Tucker, and he got scared, and I stepped into a hole off a rock. That happened. But it happens. I do that a couple times a year. Yeah, it hurts. It sucks. I freaking, want to cry. But usually by the next day, it's better. It's it's black and blue, but it's better. It doesn't hurt anymore. But the thing is when I fell on a rock and hit my right leg and landed on my shin on my right leg. So I got that guy going on. I don't know if you could see that so much. Yeah, that's nice. I'm like, dude, I'm getting too old for this shit, man. So, That was kind of interesting, but today's pretty good. I'm really glad. I like Sundays because Keejin puts out a lot of. She's been putting out a lot of good content lately, but she's been like Sundays. It's like hanging out with friends. You know, you see people in the chat. Hey, how's it going? I got to see Naked and Laughing like 3 times. Hi, Jessica. 4. Oh, I see. That's the thing is I can't get too out of control because you know, if I was by myself off in the woods, it would be an entirely different story. But it was really cool for like an hour and a half, 2 hours kind of thing. It was really, really cool. But the sunset was just the sky. Well, if you go look at the pictures that I saw, and there was even like rainbows in the sky and stuff like that. I was just like, thank you, God, thank you. And I cleared out. I might do talks outside again here pretty quick because I'm clearing out yard weeds and debris and stuff for the critters and me. And so I might go back to doing talks outside and just like show people the sky. You know, maybe talk while the clouds are going by because they're just awful. Full of awe. Awful. I'm just like, I go outside sometimes, I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for all the trials and tribulations that you got me through to get to this point in my life right now. You know what? It's worth all of it. So, it was an interesting day. I listened to, I don't know what my problem is. It's because it's always me. It's always my perception of things. But I was listening to Right On Radio this morning, and there's a shift someplace. I don't know.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Right On Radio. And the guy reminds me of Wolfman Jack, only his voice isn't as raspy. So, but he's that same vibe, you know, the shaggy hair, anyway. And it was like, I think what would turn me off, and it turned me off, and then what turned me off is one of the moderators said, please limit the chat during prayer and when they're reading scripture. And I was like, number one, people come in at all different times. Number two, people have different internet connectivity. It's buffering, you know. They're not, you know. 3, that's where a lot of people like it. I like to engage with the people of the chat. You know, and I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? And I was like, that's weird. I even said it. That's weird. Designate when people can type. You're on YouTube talking about God. It ain't that deep. It's that controlling personality, man. I hate it. And then later they were talking about freedom. And I was like, you mean like having, I wanted to, I didn't. I just hid the chat. Because then I got ticked off by that stupid dope pope. Because Jessica said all she did was she mentioned about, like, I read tarot just because it gives you a vibe of how the energy could go. I mean, I don't read. I said read, I don't read. I listen to stories but I don't necessarily think they're going to play out for me, but maybe they could, maybe they're not, you know. It's just like, it's something to pass the time, you know, kind of thing. And people, like, freaking straight up, like, demonize people that are freaking even considerate. Oh, that's not God's will. Okay, but you started this talk off with, you know, being in the blood of lambs. And I'm like, what is this song? Because I'm a very literal person, and that shit's just weird to me. Anyway. I was just not, it was like, I was all excited, you know, I had this good night, you know, and everything, and I was feeling the love, and then, some fucking dipshits trying to control people. It's just, I ain't into it, so, you know. It's me, though, it's always me, it's always my perception on how I see things, so, maybe I'll check it out later, but I don't know. A lot of people are taking breaks, switching gears, not into stuff that they were. I haven't seen Maja in like almost I think it's, I don't think it's, has it been a week yet? It's been, you know, that's the thing, is I'm the weird kid. I've been doing a video, not every day, because there are periods of time when I lived in Oregon that I didn't have internet, so I'd have to walk a ways to the library, because I was doing videos and then uploading them at the library.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to keep it that when I first started, till I got, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty dedicated when I get on stuff, but it was just really telling, because later when Keegan did her first, I think it was her first premiere today, she was talking about the Boppity Boo and the worship of it, and she I really like what she does. She makes my goofy face smile. But she was, and there was more love in the chat when somebody was talking about the Boppity Boo than there was when I felt when people are talking about God. Isn't that funny? It's the heart space, man. People can't fake it. People can talk humble. People can use the humble words that humble men say. But people like me, keep trying. You can't freaking bullshit me, man. Well, no, that's not true. I do get duped a lot. But that's when I listen to, like, my feelings and my emotions more than my rational thinking and logic. Yeah. Or if it's not so balanced out, that's when that happens. You know? I used to get duped by pretty girls all the time. I'm a sucker for a pretty girl face. Boys have pretty girl faces, too. Did you ever notice that? It's kind of interesting. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I've been watching Blossom, man. Holy heck. I think, when that show was on, how old was I? I only watched, like, the first, second season, because all these episodes, I'm, like, in season 4 now. I think there's only 5. Maybe this is the last one. I like to follow through, unless the show's total crap. But it kind of reminds me of, like, periods of time of where I was when it was on. Anyway, but, God, those kids are, I didn't realize it was all freaking sex. See, I was sexualized at a very young age. They turned on my sex switch. It happens to people, right? And what that does is it, like, kind of kicks your body into overdrive, and it starts everything earlier. And growing up, I'm like, no wonder people, you know, so many people are having, like, you know, because when I grew up, I got in a fight with the girl in the 12th grade. Her name was Tanya Patton. And in junior high, like, she didn't show up to go to school because she ended up getting pregnant, you know. Like, 13, you know. And it's just like, even though my switches were turned on earlier, I always, like, I'm old-fashioned. Like, I believe in courting. I think that people should hang out together for, like, a while. Like, maybe a few months before things get physical. Yeah, I think about how much animosity wouldn't be created if people weren't just chasing sensations. If they just, you know, waited to see if they liked each other. But no, people can't decide. They just gotta and, you know, love and hate is a very thin line, and they don't even wait to see if they which one they do like feel about the person the most, kind of thing, you know. It's a trip. I don't know, but I haven't dated anyone in years. 2013 is when I last got dumped. I'm the dumpy. Because I'll keep trying. I won't call it well, no. There was a girl that I liked on and off for like 8 years. And at the end, I was just like, this isn't even fun anymore. You know? You get to a point when you start getting some self-respect and stuff. You're just like, nah, I'd rather freaking hang out by myself, you know? Because some people don't change. Some people don't do the work. I did the work. I've been trying to be the best version of myself my whole life. And I've also been trying not to talk down to myself when I don't meet my own expectations that I try not to have, but I do anyway. Because people say you got, you know. I don't know. Life can be pretty hard, you know. It really can. I really encourage people to, you know, find people like you and just be able, you know, it's so hard. That's one of the reasons why I started this tube, is just because I don't got people to talk to the way, you know, I want to talk to. So I just talk, and maybe people will show up and talk back. And, you know, sometimes I end up, you know, becoming friends with the people. You know, that's how you connect. Because I don't know how to do it in other ways. Because going out in real life, yeah, people are warm and open and receptive to me. But oftentimes, it's like, it's not, I don't know, that had been the past. So I'm trying to live in the present. And people here are actually pretty cool and pretty easy to read. You know, I mean, they don't, but a lot of time, I'm used to just people being nice to me. And then it turns out they never really liked me anyway. And they were just waiting for me to do that one thing that would give them that reason to go away forever. You know, because I don't think unconditional love exists. I honestly, I don't. Because there's some days I don't even love my dogs. They break conditions that I'm not happy with. Like, I'm spinning, like, they're getting their dinners, and then, like, all these cats outside. And I'm trying to, like, keep stuff raked and cleared and stuff, but it's the eating of the poop, and I'm just, I could lose my shit. And it's like, as soon as they go, I clean it up, but it's like, I don't know where the cats go that live outside, so it's like, oh, I can't hang. Nope. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Margo. Oh, you're gonna go for a walk? I hope. Yeah, go. I hope you still go for a walk. Fun guy, yeah. Yeah, I miss my talks outside too. I miss having trees, but I think there is a way that there could be like trees in the background. You know, once I get to 1,000, maybe I'll qualify to be able to take my phone out and just do live talks while I'm out on adventures. Like, I live like 10 miles from the gorge. There's a young local man that became missing out there. They found his car out there. He was in the reserves, I believe. Or the National Guard, 20 years old. They found his card and all of his belongings were in it, but there was no evidence of him anywhere. And that's the thing is, man, people take people and do terrible things to people. You know it? I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was like, man, you can't even go places and like women, like nobody, man, woman, like if you're going for a hike, it's all about operational security, folks, and keeping yourself safe, not putting yourself in, if you're going for a walk, okay, yeah, you know, you go by yourself at some place, you go all the time, whatever, you know. Let people know where you're going. Let them know the exact, at least one person, let them know the exact route that you're going, and don't vary from that route. Don't go wander off on it, and, I said I was going to go there, but I'm going to go try this anyway. Don't do stuff like that. The world's changed, and we ain't living in a place where people can leave the doors unlocked anymore. Because I know too many people, like, I knew what my old landlord, she freaking, and she even lived on the better side of town, I think. I don't know. Oregon's all shit to me. But she, like, woke up or something, and there's a guy in her bedroom. Dude's all it's all for these freaking prescription pills that all these gazillionaires freaking pumped out into society, created, first created all the hurt and harm, and then was just like, oh, that's alright, just take this pill. And then people just get freaking don't even know how to deal with their feelings. because they don't even, because you can't feel them when you're freaking hopped up all the time. When you're freaking so, and now they're legalizing Mary Jane, which I'm stoked about. The thing of it is stoners aren't very accountable. There aren't a lot of stoners in this world. You know, everything is lackadaisical. Everything. It's stoner time, the world's different. So that's it. But with all this closed down crap, then I don't know, I guess it's just gotten people ready for that. I don't know. The world is just changing oh so fast, you know? And people are just kind of going along. Boopity boop. I'm just going to do what I'm told. I have never been that person. Oh, the thumbnail that I put up for this video and in the video yesterday, I have a whole playlist on the corruption. I'll sum it up in a video called My Account. So if you ever want to listen to the story of how I didn't have running water in a city and how and how it happens all over the nation, this stuff is happening. See, they do these big exorbitant projects that they designate probably $4 to $8 million to, because I have hundreds of pictures of this whole project because I was documenting it from beginning to end, and every time somebody new would come in, I would talk to them about how they were doing it and why they were doing it and stuff like that, right? And so these big old huge pieces of concrete that they brought in, they had made in Washington State. So if you think shipping is expensive on the internet, imagine how much it would cost to have these freaking multi-ton freaking colossal. You couldn't walk in it, so it was probably, I could probably lay across it, so it was probably 5 by like 4 feet. Colossal freaking concrete fixtures. You know, it's all a club, and then they put, it's just so much waste. And I want to know what they're doing with all the people in LA that they're misplacing. I really do. I wish somebody in LA would tell me what's going on with all the people they're misplacing. Namely, more specifically, hopefully, some of the people that have been misplaced. Anyway. I forgot to plug that back in. Tut-Tuck's good. And Benny Ball's over there and Tut-Tuck. Handsome man! Poop eaters. I get over it, though. He's just longing, look out the window. I just, you know, this is why I work for. I'm like, I just need a place so the dogs can just be freaking lazy old dogs. Man, you know what? I was starting to get worked up. I was thinking about Arizona. I'm like, is that bitch, man? She'd freaking kick my dogs. Because she designated, well, I only have 15 years experience raising freaking, what are those dogs that run races? Those sled dogs. And I was like, okay, that might be well and good, but you don't got fucking rescue dogs aren't your little fucking trail dogs. You know, they already have their own fears and traumas. And you fucking, what a dumb bitch, man. And then they had a dog daycare, you know. So I guess if dogs, you know, if you go to the critter center, if you take them there, you risk the potential of your dogs getting kicked. Freaking, God, people just suck. People just suck. Hi, Ariel. Oh, that's where you are? I've been watching your videos with the critters that you find. It's cool because when you put then it's cool to go and frickin' look up the spirit animal, what they mean. That's how I get like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? You know, I see this critter, I see that critter. When I lived in Oregon, I saw so many animals, and we lived like in the middle of town, but we lived next to the stream, so they would travel on the path of the stream. So we'd see deer, blue herring, turkey, the ducks that came every year, owls. I haven't seen an owl. Oh, I need to go up in the mountains. I really do. It's right there. The mountain. Mom likes looking out at all day long. Do you have a good day, Mom? Yeah? We've been changing her sock. See, when people get older, all ages really, people don't understand the importance of, like, I don't know, because, like, older people, they just get caught up, you know? They don't do things like change their clothes and stuff like that a lot of times, you know? When it's just them, it's like, why? It's just more laundry to do. They don't go anywhere, you know, stuff like that. So, in the transition from cotton sock weather to our poly, because Mom's feet are so sensitive from all of her surgeries. They're so sensitive. And so, like, any little chafing or, you know, anything can cause harm. And she had a sore on the back of her ankle from a pair of shoes that she was wearing. And I didn't notice it because it was on the back of her. And I'm regularly rubbing her feet and putting lotion on them to make sure they're hydrated, and so I could look at her feet and feel her feet to make sure that they don't have sores. Because have you ever seen somebody, like, they get sores on their feet? Because a lot of times she doesn't walk around a lot, even though I have her like, hey, Mom, come look at this, come look at that. So I do get her up and around, you know. But she used to walk all over town. She was the walking lady in Anderson and Shasta Lake for years. But anyway, she had a sore in the back of her foot, so it's almost gone. It's almost completely gone. So I've been changing her sock every day and putting a new Band-Aid on it. Because you miss a day, it sets back, and then, okay, we're back. Okay. Whew. I never had kids. I don't know how to take care of anybody else, you know. That's cool. I miss owls. Yes, I love my little ram. I love my little ram. It's on my, my office is in the bathroom. I have my smoking area back there, with the vent in the window and stuff like that. And and I have trinkets up there, and it's there. Yeah. Yeah, prayer. See, I never didn't know that the power of prayer wasn't powerful. You know, so I'm excited to see you and other people such as yourself stepping into the knowing of how powerful God really, really is. You know, God's always taking care of us. Gotten us out of things like what, you know. I mean, heck, the story of how we got in northern New Mexico is freaking miraculous in itself. I didn't know what I was just like, okay, God, I'm just going to do whatever whatever you say, you know, and he'd lay this out, and he'd give me this only option. So I'm supposed to be here. I never didn't, you know. There were times that I stepped away from God. There was a period, I don't know, 13, 14 years, I was drinking pretty heavy. And I stepped away from God, and I ran the show. I just ran from ego and just did what I want. And now what I wanted, there were positive things like going to college and, you know, stuff like that. But then, in doing that, I lost some of the essence of me, you know? Yeah? And it took me a while to find it, and I think I'm there, so. Anyway, yeah, oh shoot, Joe Bob, good to see you. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Can't lose. I'm not a miss, I'm a direct hit. That's what I tell people when they call me. And then it was funny because I was marksman when I was in the Air Force. I was marksman. I missed expert by 1. But that's funny. Anyway, I think I've talked long enough. I'll be back tomorrow. You know, I just wanted to take a day off, and you know, I was really in a bad mood because my freaking leg hurt so bad yesterday. But it's fine today. You know, my right leg's a little sore, but I'm good. I'm resilient. I'm healthy. That's about all I got for now.